Hi, everyone knows who I am by now. My name is Angela Green, and I want to thank you for your patience in me trying to do the live. I guess I have to do the recorded video now until we get our problem solved for doing the lives. But thank you so much for hanging in there with me and giving me support and just giving me the pats on the back and the patience that you've showed. So I really appreciate it. We have the best group in the world, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I want to let you know that I have some two moderators, an administrator. My administrator is Bonnie Stockton, and she's in the process of still trying to get things together after her major move. She moved out of state, so she's trying to get things together for that. So as soon as she gets things together, she's going to be, have a lot of input as far as into our group. So I want to welcome her as administrator and thank her for everything that she's doing and has been doing. She's very encouraging, and I appreciate that. Another person that always goes far beyond the call of duty is Patricia. I want to thank her for everything that she's been doing, and she is one of my moderators. She's been with me also from the beginning, and she's in other groups. Very helpful, always puts herself uh, really kind of on the back burner no matter what's going on in her life. So I really appreciate what she does too. And I really appreciate it. It doesn't have to happen that way, but I think having fibromyalgia, I think we have a little something that goes a long way with us, and that is compassion, support, and patience. So that's a quality that's developed from some of the misery that we have. And so for that part, I'm kind of glad for that part, and I appreciate it. So welcome all the changes that I've had as far as support people are concerned, and I want to thank everybody. So also, I want to give a shout out to Angela Anderson, who allowed us a little bit of her airtime at the end to direct people to the group Painting with Fibromyalgia. And in tribute to Angela Anderson, I want to show her that there is some competition out there. The competition isn't me, but it's for her horsey. There's a new stallion in town. Angela, I just wanted to let you know that I found this the next day after your video. So I just wanted to show you this to you. This was in a bag of my kids, my grandchildren's toys and things that I was clearing out of the way. So it was just funny when I found this. I couldn't stop laughing. So, all right. So I'm going to get started. Um, what we're doing today is we're going to be painting not necessarily this, but if you like this, we will be painting this kind of a logo for us. I have a butterfly landing on a paintbrush, and I think it's kind of appropriate. Made up a background of some flowers and things. We decided that we're going to paint together. That hasn't seemed to work out yet, and if you want to, of course, you can paint your own design, your own butterfly. So I just wanted to let you know that this is kind of what we were going to kind of base our painting on, something that has like some form already started, some design already started, and then we could always vary it. If you want to do your own thing completely from scratch, upload it. I'd love to see it. We all appreciate each other's art, so enjoy that. And hopefully you can enjoy when we do ours, when you see the video and see how I'm doing mine. Okay, thanks. I want to show you, I'm getting started here with this background. I first painted this color green. It's kind of a pale, soft, warm green, and I used a combination of titanium white. I have a lot of that, some Australian sienna or else yellow ochre, that would work too. And a little bit of quinacridone magenta and just a tiny speck of phthalo blue. So that gives that warm green color. And so I put that as an undercolor and then let that dry. On top of that, after that dried, I painted a little bit of a green. You could use the phthalo green if you like. Mix it a little bit with just a touch of white, or you could put the blue and yellow together till you come up with a green, and that also works pretty much the same. And then after that, while my brush really wasn't that clean, I purposely left a little bit of the green in it. I dipped it in some of the purple, the dioxine purple, and a touch of white just to lighten it up a little bit. Left it a little bit thinned out with water, and then I painted the purple in here and gave it kind of a blended, swirly look to have a muted background so that we could make our butterfly pop as much as possible in the flowers. Okay, and so next what we'll be doing is chalking in the paintbrush and chalking in the shape of the butterfly, and that's the hardest part, and the rest will be the blades of grass. And we've done something similar to this now that I think about it with one of Cinnamon's tutorials. She might have used the palette knives, but I just used a brush and then just brought the blades of grass up, either purple, combination of purple and combination of the greens to give it a little bit of some sort of depth by adding a foreground. And then I threw some poppies in there because those are always fun, and some yellow dabs to represent some flowers or dandelions or whatever you want them to represent. So that would make the whole painting. Okay. So what I'm going to do is chalk in the butterfly. Okay. I like to leave a reference where you could see it so that you kind of have an idea where we're going. Okay. Um, this is a smaller one. It's going to go a little bit faster. Okay. So I'm just going to chalk in the paintbrush first. So I have the paintbrush going from corner to toward the bottom of the painting. So I'll just chalk that in. It doesn't have to be perfect. Um, I have noticed that sometimes the less perfect, the better the painting looks. Perfect looks a little bit more like some kind of mechanical drawing, so we don't have to be perfect with this, okay? We want this to look like artwork. So I want to come all the way down here, and then this will be that little ferrule part down at the bottom, and then we'll have the brush right here, okay? In the painting, I have the brush a little higher up. So I'm just going to dip in a little bit of water because I've gone over that too many times. I'm going to make the ferrule a little higher up. And then I'm going to have the brush come down here. Okay? All right. Now, afterwards, I'm going to have the butterfly look like it's landing on the paintbrush. So let's see, the butterfly is about here. And so I'll do the little body part. I want to leave a little bit of room for the legs. And then there's going to be 2 sets of wings. Okay. So that kind of worked out a lot faster than my first one. And then after that, we'll throw some flowers on there. We can just wing that. Excuse the pun. Okay. So I'm going to get started with that. I used phthalo blue and I used purple for the butterfly. I have a little purple in here from the background, and I'm going to throw some phthalo blue in here too. Okay. First, I want to protect my clothing. Now, I'm just going to let you know some of my tips and tricks as I do this. Most of you have been painting about as long as I have, and that's not a very, very long time. I am self-taught. I'm still, I should say, self-learning. But I'd like for you to learn along with me how to make painting easier, a little less frustrating, so that we could enjoy our painting and not let the frustration build on our fibromyalgia symptoms. Okay, so that's kind of my objective. Move my little sippy sippy, as Cinnamon calls it. And it's always good to have some plenty of titanium white. That's like a staple. That's like having flour in the refrigerator when you bake. So I'll have a little titanium white there. I already have a little bit of purple in here. Probably not enough, so I'll add to my purple. This is another thing that I do, and you've probably seen Ginger do this, but this is flexible, so I really like it for that reason. I put out the paints that I'm going to be using in here, okay, so that I don't have to look for them and stop and start. And then I have that nearby. So I'm going to add a little bit of purple. The purpose of going live was so that we could paint together, and then as we paint together I could get feedback and know when to stop. So instead, because we're doing this as a video, recorded video, I'm just going to keep going with it, and then when you stop when you're ready to stop, and you start when you're ready to start back again. I have a habit of once I start something, I just keep going with it. And sometimes that could kind of take the fun out of it because, you get stiff. You're sitting, you're not going to the bathroom, you're not doing any of the things that's humanly kind to yourself. So let's kind of break those habits and stop and start and rest. The main thing with stopping and starting is remembering what you were doing, remembering what colors you're using, and hanging on to your stuff kind of helps with that. So, um, I have here where I cut my palette paper, and I put my wet paper towel in first. This is a to-go container, and I cut my palette paper to fit in a to-go container. I found that if you start with a full-size palette paper, put your paint on, then you're trying to tear around it to fit it in something, and frustration. Okay, so that's what we're trying to eliminate. So I don't know if you could see my little water bottles. I think you can. You could see this. This is a dollar store cupcake holder, and I'll bring it up close to you. I have cut off drinking water bottles, the little plastic ones, and I filled several of them up with water. Not all the way, of course. And that's so that I don't have to change my water out every time I turn around. Okay? So that's another thing that makes life a little bit easier. So on this butterfly, what I'm going to do is give it kind of a stripy look. Okay? So this is kind of, I'm going to hold it in my hand. I don't think there's any law against it. And I'm just going to give it a little stripy look with the purple. And then when I get to that back wing there, uh, I'm going to mute that a little bit so that it doesn't look exactly like the other one. So with that back wing, I'm going to hold off on that and maybe add a little bit of yellow to it so that it's not so in the same forefront and the same on the same plane as the front wing. And this is like my third go around with this. Well, sort of. It's my second go around with the actual butterfly, but you know what? I didn't really believe it when the our tutorial artists have told us that when we practice, the next one is more fun and it's easier. You know, I'm finding that to be true, and I didn't even finish yet. I just did the background twice, but I'm finding that to be true, and I was a little resistant with that. Now I'm going to add a little phthalo blue and white in there, more white than phthalo blue. And you see me dipping into my palette. That's what's nice about these leftover little paints. This is just from today. Um, you don't need too much. And then if you use a small canvas or paper, then you really don't use much paint. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to be doing this more often using these little canvases. I was feeling like the bigger the better because, for one thing, you can see it so well. And some people go for the big paintings. But you know, I'm kind of enjoying this a lot. Why is it people have to learn the hard way? How come we couldn't take people's word for it? Okay, I guess that's just the nature of being people. Now, on this one, I did a little blingy blingy thing with the white. So I just dipped into my white up here. I'm still not cleaning off my brush because I don't want everything to be so stark, so starkly different. And I'm just kind of dabbing the very corner. It's like I have a little flat brush here. It's not even a good brush. Um, it's that, what is it called? Artist touch. Anyway, it's not a great brush, but it does the trick. It's not even that firm. I just grabbed a brush and I'm using the very corner of it to put a little blinginess on here because this isn't trying to be a true representation of a butterfly. It's really not. It's trying to go more for the painterly look, a little bit more artsy. And from what I've been seeing in our local gallery, you know, they have these juried contests that I'm going to say, like one of the politicians, I think it's rigged. I have to throw a joke in there. Anyway, um, they seem to go for the stuff that looks like it really didn't take a whole lot of time and people weren't really that into being very, very precise and very measured. And, you know, someone that doesn't know that's the trend is like killing themselves, me. And and it's not even considered. And it really looks like that's why, because that's the big difference I see is theirs is very painterly. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to kill myself either. All right. So now I don't know if you caught what I did because you can't really see this too well. But I just dipped a little teeny bit into my yellow ochre and then into my purple so that I can make the edge on here, but not quite um, as bright as the other one. And so that means I've graded a little bit or pushed it back. And we learned that from other tutorials that makes it more in the background. So I figure it applies too. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little white to that mixture, and I'm going to make this a little bit more, it's hard to get the right exact color that you want sometimes when you're just trying to push it back. But um, I keep playing with it till I get what I want. It's kind of how I do it. And so this is going to be the background wing. Okay, see that purple? And then I'm going to try to make that little blue stripe. But I'm going to do the same thing, just dip a little yellow ochre in there. And which turns it green, but you just keep playing with it, and then you'll get, I put a little white in there. You just keep playing with it till it gets a little bluer, but not quite the same blue as that front wing. See that? See that difference? And then I'm gonna come back here and then put a little stripe in here so that belongs on the same butterfly. Okay. All right. Now I need to pinch off my brush because it's a little bit of a mess. And then now I'm going to add a little bit of that bling on the edge of this back wing. Okay. So I'm added a little bit of purple and I'm adding a little bit of white. So it looks like it belongs to the same insect, just not quite. So it's just a little bit more messy, a little bit more muted. You see what I did there? Okay. So now you could tell a difference. Now I'm going to go over this a little bit more with the white because I want that to stand out just a little bit more. I'm going down the white dabs. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's hard to tell because why? I have no feedback like I want it. So I have to just wing it. Okay. Here we go. There we go. I am right now dipping a little bit into the phthalo blue, white, purple, white, and then just kind of, cleaning that up a little bit. Okay, just cleaning this up a little bit. There we go. There we go. And it's taking shape. That's now I don't know the difference really between from experience between acrylics and oils because I never did oils. All I know is what they say seems to be true, that you never really have to ditch a painting because you can just play with it and play with it and play with it and play with it until you get it like you want it. So that's what I do. Play with it until I get it like I want it. Okay, so here we go. And then just to make a little bit more of a, just to make a little bit of a difference between that back wing and that front wing. There we go. Here we go. So I don't know. To me, it looks kind of nice. It's not exactly as that one up there. I think I'm going to add a little bit of a darker phthalo blue without the white in it. and then go across here like that. Yeah, that now it's starting to look a little bit prettier. Yeah. Okay. So I went around the edges, the border of the main wing out here with the darker phthalo blue. Okay. When this is all dry, I'm going to take a damp cloth and wipe that chalk off the edge and clean it up as we say. Okay. I might even do a little bit more of a purpley blue. I like mixing stuff together. Not completely, just a little bit. Look at that. Look how that popped. See? So with acrylics, you just let it dry while you play with another area, and then you can go back and add another layer. Go back and see if you need a little something. I'm not trying to be just like my reference photo. If you notice, I'm not even looking at it. We have the basic idea. Oh, okay, I even like that a little bit better. It's lighter. It's probably going to darken up a little bit when it dries. But I even like that a little bit better. It's a little, I don't know, not quite as serious. So however you want to do it, okay? So that's that for that part. Now I'm going to definitely take the phthalo blue, and I'm going to make the little body part, okay? So I'm going to make the head a little bigger. I'm going to come back, do the body. I'm not a scientist, so I do the best I can. Make the head a little bit bigger. Okay. And I don't know, I like my original one a little better. Now, for this one, I used another painting that I did as a reference photo. So I'm not going to act like I know exactly what butterflies look like. Um, uh, what do they tell us all the time? That's not cheating. Use a reference photo. I don't know if you want to be in this video. Okay. I mean, I don't care if you are. We'll just have to give you a nickname if you are.
Woody, do you want this food?
Sure, I'll come out and get it.
All right.
I'm taping right now, so. Okay, so I made a little boo-boo on there, hanging with my same brush forever. So I'm gonna ditch this one. I'm gonna take a little round brush, dip it in some water, dip it on a cloth, and then take this little, I don't know, this little boo-boo I did here. Clean that up. Okay, so that got cleaned up. I'll clean that up a little bit more. Add a little bit more purple back. Okay, so I have his little body. And now since I have the little round brush here, I'm going to see if I could put his legs on there. The legs come back towards the um, bottom part of the painting before they go forward. So I'm going to do that. It comes back kind of like with a little slant, and then it goes forward. All right, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to go back and then down on the brush. And then I'm going to do kind of like a blur here. So you're not really paying much attention to how many legs this guy has. We don't want people to count because, I really don't know. All right, so just a little blur here. Just a little something for him. Okay, so that's that. So we have our butterfly. What do you think? I don't know. I have the butterfly guy looking a little bigger than his wing, so it's not perfect. But hey, neither am I. Okay, so by the time I put the flowers in and all that kind of stuff, um, uh, it will it will help balance him out a little bit. Just did a little bit of fixing on there. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse this out. I'm gonna try to be a good example and not leave my brushes soaking in the water. This tall one here, it's dirty now, but I put some dishwashing liquid in the bottom of it. I don't know. I might still use it. It might still work. Yeah, see, it's soapy, and that's why I have this one really tall, so I know the difference. Then I'm gonna rinse it. I'm gonna rinse it in the same rinse water I had before, and then I'm gonna. So I got that one pretty good. Now you know what? When I get done, I am still going to wash these brushes better. But in the meantime, they're not going to be like full of paint. And if you leave it sitting in the water, it will leach into the ferro. So I'm trying to behave. I'm really not that good, that nice to my brushes. I'll admit it. But I have a little responsibility in here to try to do the right thing. So I'm rinsing it, I'm putting it in the soapy water, putting it in the rinse water, wiping it off. Oops, made a mess. Putting it in this. That was a canvas we were going to use to work on together. Wiping it off. And while I do this, my other painting is getting a little drier, so I won't be making too many smudges. Okay. If I used a white cloth, I could tell more if there's color in the brushes, but like I said, I will do a better job washing those when I'm done. And it won't take as long because I got started. Okay, so let's see. This is my favorite brush. Where is it? Where is it? It's like one of my children. If I can't find it, I get upset. Here it is. I love this brush. I got it at Dick Blick, and I can't remember the name of it. Urlick or something. Tuscan series, and it's pretty firm. Um, anyway, just it just paints nicely, and it wears nicely, and it washes nicely. So far, it's my friend. I only have one, so when I go back, I believe this was $10 or more. But you know what? It was a good investment. So when I go back, I might use this. I might get some more of these. I don't know what I'm saying. I might get some more of those. All right. So for the brush, what did I use? I used purple and white. And because it's such a little painting, I still have plenty of purple and white. So I'm gonna try not to talk like you guys have never painted anything before because like I said, we're probably got similar amount of experience, most of us in this group. So I could skip trying to talk like I know something when it comes to just the painting part. So I don't know what you can see. Okay. So let's see, can you see this? Kind of. I don't have close up, hey, I'm not big time. So here's my, oh, it looks so much nicer when you do it with the paintbrush, especially with your favorite paintbrush. Okay, so I came down with this, and the ferrule needs to be really dark. And I learned from Ginger to not use um, black. So I just make it up and it seems to work, but I used a little red and a little purple and a little blue, and it gives it like a really dark look. Um, and if I had a little green in here, which I might, then it really makes it look kind of almost black. Oh, I didn't mean to get white in here. There we go. It's like a really blue foresty, really dark color. So when it dries, it's going to be super, super dark. And I'm going to kind of pinch that other side off. And that's what I'm going to do for my ferrule. I'm going to go across this way. We're going to try to solve that live problem. It ain't over, folks. We're still going to be working at that. Don't you worry about that. Because I want to play. I want to talk to you guys. I want to play. I want to chat. I want to sneak in and see what you guys are doing on my little laptop. Well, it's kind of a giant laptop. But anyway, I want to sneak in on the chats and say, I heard that. Because, I'll be dropping stuff and spilling stuff. And I know what I say when other people do that. I make my fun. So I know I'll be getting it back. Okay, so I got the ferrule part done. It's a little exaggerated, but I don't think anyone's going to notice by the time we get done. I know I had a paper towel here. Oh well, I'll use this one. Oh, I know, I'm not being nice to the trees. So let's get rid of this. I get rid of the extra wad of paint before I even rinse my brush off because it makes the water a little less dirty. And I'm going to use this same brush again. So I'm doing my soapy water, my rinse water, and then my rinse water. You see why I have all these bottles of water here? Now, if I just had one jar of water like I typically would do before I start figuring this out, I would have had to jump up from here at least 2 or 3 times by now and switch the water over. And I'm not into that extra business. Okay. So for the, I have, do you see this? See this like streaky um, blue and white paint? I'm going to take advantage of that. So I'm going to go down this brush like this with my little dirty streaky paint. I'm going to put some more streaks on here. I'm going to go down here like that. Ooh, I love how that looked. Then I'm going to grab this quinacridone in here. I'm going to go down like this. Oh, and I'm going to wipe that off. I'm not going to make a federal case out of it. And I'm going to go into this, whatever this is, Australian sienna. And it gives it kind of a yellow. I'm going to stick a little white on there to brighten it up. And ooh, I love that. Yes, yes. I saw a painting that had the brush like this. You saw it too. I'm not going to try to kid you. I didn't come up with that brush all by myself. But you know what? Oh well. Oh, I lost my quinacridone. I lost it. Gotta be careful sometimes when you mix these colors. I guess it'd be nice to be patient. I have to show it to you. See that brush? It's full of different colors of paint. Yay! Okay. I like that way better than this. I think it's because of the white playing off of the dark. I really love it, love it. I rinse my brush off and I'm gonna wash it. I'm gonna rinse it. I wipe it. I'm not wiping it on my lap. I have my rags on my lap. Rinse it again. Look, no paint. No paint at all. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Wet my brush, dab it, and I see some green in here, and I'm going to make my grass. So, dip it a little white, give it a little oomph, and I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make my grass. Now, what I could do is go like this, go a little bit slanted, and then make it skinny. So that's what I'm doing. I can always fix this and go all the way down with it. A little straight, slanted, make it skinny. Straight, slanted. A little bit more. Straight, slanted. Straight, slanted. A little bit more. Straight, slanted. You could crisscross, it looks okay. All right. I'm not done. I'm going to go into the purple, purple and white. Still a little white in here, still a little purple in here. Ooh, I made it a little, ooh, got a little carried away. Find a clean spot. Okay. And so I have a little purple and I have a little white on this brush and I have a little purple mixed with white. And the reason why I'm stressing that is because you see I have a combo on the purple ones. I kind of like that effect, so I'm going to try to mimic that. Straight, skinny, straight, skinny, straight, skinny, straight, skinny, straight, skinny, straight, skinny. All right. Okay. And then this is, yeah, I kind of like this. You can go down too, just do the opposite. You just, you know, all right. You like that? Oh, here's one that needs to go down. I like the dark at the bottom. Give me the dark. Okay. All right. And this one, I need to go to the bottom. There. So that's an easy fix. Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know if I like what I just did. Now, where is my little round brush? I did a little something on the brush handle, so I'm gonna take it off. And I'm gonna take it off. And I'm gonna take it off. That looks a little better. I'm gonna end up shading that with the dark purple on the edges of the handle, on that bottom edge, okay? So this is that. I'm gonna let this, the blades of grass dry. You with me? Can't ask any questions. Um, that's another thing. But I'm gonna quit fretting over that whole life thing. I'm gonna quit fretting. Don't you worry. One of these days we'll get it together. Now, hopefully it's not going to be after I get rich, because it will not be one of these days. I don't know. They're threatening that I might need to increase something with my cable service to get a faster speed. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of having to pay for air at the gas station for your tires. It kind of reminds me of that, like in the way of ripoff. Okay, I put some poppies in there. I'm kind of tired of poppies, but anyway, uh, yeah, why not? So I need to put out a little bit more color. I'm gonna put out a little bit more color for that. So I put a stack of these in here, which I like because now I could just go with the next one. I put like 3 or 4 in here. I cut the palette paper and I put 3 or 4. So I just lifted the one off, put it on the lid. Some of that's not dry, like my white. It's not dried out. So I'm going to still be dipping from that at some point. I need to spray it too. Okay. I'm getting a little bit like I need 3 hands here. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to use the white for my hands because with that fibromyalgia, I'm getting a little bit, I get distracted by sensory type stuff like stuff on my hands and tags on the back of my neck and stuff like that. So I do things to be ready for it now. This is a brand new thing that I'm doing. And you know what? I love this. So that's going on my little placemat there. Okay. I need a little bit of yellow. So I put some cad red on there. I just use what I have. I'm just going to tell you. I'm not it has to be this color, it has to be that color. That's helpful. I love that. That's great and all. It's just not me. I'm pretty loose with it. That's why I can't knit and I can't sew because you can't be that precise. And that's why I cook and I don't bake because you don't have to be so precise. So, sometimes you just have to go with your personality. Although, when you're learning, you need to know some stuff, but like I said, we're all at the same point pretty much, so I can get away with a little bit more. And some of you are kind of brand new. So hey, if you want to learn some bad habits, you can learn from me. I'm here. Come visit me anytime. Pick up some bad habits. All right. So like I said, I'm gonna dip a little bit of the white from my old palette. I don't know where my sprayer is. Oh, I see it. So I have a little mix of cad red medium, and I threw in some orange in there, so it's a little orangier, and some white. I don't know if I like that because it made it very peachy. I threw some more cad on there. Okay. So let's see. I like to, you want to have different heights of things, and you got to think of your rules of your composition. So you want to have things in different parts of the picture to bring your eye in, and so this is what I'm doing. Okay. Uh, I think I want to put like in this one I have the poppy up here and the brush is down there and the brush has the same colors as the poppy. I think I want to put a little poppy right here. So um, I I call myself more of an impressionist painter, and since this is a paint going in progress because of the paintbrush there, hey, you know what? Take advantage of that. I didn't think of that before. So there's uh there's my poppy or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, it's impressionism. So it's a flower. You can just call it whatever you want, and I don't care. It's whatever you like. That's what it is. And then here's my yellowish color I'm gonna put out there. I'm barely touching, really. Um, well, this is a very translucent yellow, so you have to kind of pile it on. All right, and then here's some on this one right here. I'm gonna go with the back of the brush to bring it back up and blend it a little bit. So that's how I blend. I use the back of the brush to go backwards, front of the brush, and come down. Pinch it off and wipe it off and start afresh in your palette. Then I'm going to come down because I like that variation in color. Come back down on this. I don't know if you can see it, but you can hear what I'm saying. You'll probably figure it out. Okay. And then, so, like if the sun's hitting, it's going to be hitting from the same direction. It's not going to be hitting all over the flower. Maybe in some cases, if the sun is just like directly in front. So you see some variations there. I'm going to take a little quinacridone so I can have a little bit more low lights. Did I make that up? I know that goes for dyeing your hair, but hey, I'll steal it. Yeah, the quinacridone helped a lot. So it gave me a little bit more. There you go. So that's the one. Okay. I'm gonna make another one, and then later I'm gonna come back and put the poppies in the middle, the little seeds in the middle, whatever you call those, the stamen or whatever. Um, I'm gonna tilt this one this way, so that it's more, you know. Okay, I kind of like that. Just like that. I'm not going to change a thing. I'm going to leave that just like that. I might put some yellow in it or something later. And then this one, I want a little farther from the edge because I want everything to kind of like say, I'm over here. So I'm gonna make this come a little bit higher. Then I'm gonna make this, see which side I want to come out. Okay, like that. Okay, make this a little lower. Okay, maybe make this come out a little bit. Yeah, okay, like that. Now I'm going to take this yellow and I'll just touch it up a little bit. Put this yellow right here and right here. Alright, a little yellow here. I'll come back and you know that they talk about the direction of the brush. I think the highlights really help with that directional thing. Because you know which petals are which because of what direction the brush is going. I flipped it over because that had too much yellow on it. There you go. So here's my poppies. I'm gonna add a little purple. Not even gonna bother cleaning off my brush. I'm gonna throw a little purple in here. Throw a little purple in here. All right, so I did that. Now I'm gonna clean this brush off. Whenever I stop, clean the brush off, if I ever use the blow dryer or whatever, say, hey, pause, pause, take a break, stand up, stretch, go to the bathroom, get some water. blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't make for making a good video. So I'm not going to be your example in that. So I'm doing a better rinse now because I had a ton of paint on here. And then I am going to dot my little dabs of whatever kind of flour you want to call them. I don't know if I want to use this one. I'm going to use a different one. I'm going to use this. Oh, you see my little duct tape on there? Okay. Sometimes the handles go way before the... Oh, was this dirty? Huh. That's why it's good to use a white rag. I thought I went through all my brushes really nicely a couple days ago, but I don't know where that came from. Okay. So I'm going to throw some yellow flowers in here. So I still had some yellow. And I'm going to do my little... This is all dry. So I'm going to do my little dabs. And do my little... Kind of wanted the dandelion look on this one because I just like change. So I'm going to do the dandelion look. A little more yellow. And I'm going to make those come up a little bit like the dandelions do. So I think that'd be kind of cute. I'm gonna watch these things, man. This paint will squeeze all out. You won't have any. Although you can kind of suck it up a little bit, which is kind of funny. All right, so. All right, I'm going to go up a little bit with this just to give it more of a... Yeah, I like that. I'm a big experimenter. You know, like so. I haven't tried it yet, but guess what? A lot of times the stuff you haven't tried yet works. Wow. So I went up a little bit on these so that the brush marks show and they look more like dandelions. I might put one going this direction so that it's not exactly the same. And go up. Oh, I like that. Now, so that's that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in the um, blue and yellow and blue makes green. Sounds like something I heard in kindergarten. All right. So I'm going to dab the bottom of those because dandelions. Oh, that doesn't show up so much. Let me put a little purple in it. Here I am with my experimenting. Oh, that's darker. Okay. So I'm going to do the bottoms. And do the bottoms. And do the bottom. Okay, that's cute. Now, while I got that going on, I'm just gonna pinch it a little bit better. A little water helps too when you're trying to make something look, the stems look skinnier. Um, that's a little too fat, but I don't care. Now the dandelions have that thing on the bottom. All right, there's my painterly stuff. Get away with murder when you call it that. And then I don't like the way that one side looks. It looks a little ugh. So I'm going to hide it with a little purple. So I'm going to hide this with a little purple. Okay, that was cute. Same way with this. Okay. What do you think, guys? Nice? Should I put a poppy up there? Maybe? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll put a poppy up there. All right. Let's see. I have some more of an orange. Okay. So I'm just going to I'm going to and okay. Have that one a little bit more open to us. All right. And then I'm going to take some, a little bit of yellow, and okay. Okay, so the sun does look like it's facing the flowers. That's for sure. And this butterfly is kind of shading that side of the flower. A little bit more blended. A little bit more blended. Okay, and here we go with the purple going in. Going in. Okay. So I like that. That gave it a little bit more balance. Now, I'm going to sneak and blow dry. Don't anybody pay attention? Uh-oh. Where's my cord? Well, I'm not going to blow dry. I wanted to blow dry because I wanted to dry it before I cleaned it up. I'm not going to do that though. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to take my, oh, I forgot I have to shade my brush. I want to get this guy cleaned up a little bit. He's a little dirty. All right. I'll just be careful. All right. He was a little dirty. And this is, my brush was a little dirty. I'll get this a little bit. Oh. Oh. My grandmother used to say when she was doing my hair and she was killing me. She used to say, up. The funny things you remember sometimes. It's like a million years ago. Okay. The reason I said up was because I lost some of my, there we go. Oh, he's cute now. All right. That was one of those little happy surprises. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is take my angle brush. Wash him. Rinse him. And we're going to shade this paintbrush a little bit. Not so much that it looks weird. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to it so it's not so different. But I do want to shade it a little bit. All right. So here we go. Going the wrong direction. I should turn upside down. Since I have a small painting, I might as well take advantage of that and go this way. I can't have two moving hands. But going down is so much more natural. Okay. Like I said, I don't like perfection. I used to, but I'm so getting out of that because perfection isn't what people like. I don't like to see perfection because they're not perfect. So they don't want to see somebody else perfect. You know that just from work. Who likes the perfect people? Okay. All right. And then I drew a line down that side. I might take the light purple to make it not look so hard edge there. Try mixing my white with purple to make it really light. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna try to keep it from looking such a hard edge. There we go. I know so many things are like back and forth. This is what made me fall in love with painting. It's like, I don't know, you just like, you find yourself creating this stuff as you go. And that ferrule's a little overbearing. There we go. You find yourself creating stuff as you go, and it's like when you get done, it's like, oh, like a little kid. Oh, I made that. Okay. Okay. Guess what? I think I'm finished. There we go. I'm going to find fault with this. I'm going to find some, not find fault, but I'm going to find something that needs to be finished. But as far as I'm concerned, this is finished. It's very close to this one. I love the white in the brush. I might throw some white in that one too and make that look better. But this is it. I'm going to sign it. I'm going to call it a day. I don't know how long that took. Love you guys. Thanks for your patience. See you later.